This is the harness for the Firebird, the 99. So I just completed it. I'm just doing an overview of what all we got here. This is a stock LS1 harness. In the connectors over here, it is about 2 pins that you got to move around in order to convert the LS harness into a harness that'll work with the V6. So what I did was one of the wires that was for the EGR, I believe, power wire, the ignition wire for the EGR, I moved that pin out since I deleted EGR, and I added the pin for the passenger side. Passenger side, which is the coils and injectors to that pin. So that in effect made it work with the V6 harness, because the V6 body harness doesn't have a pin for the passenger side. It only has one coil pack. So that was that. Also up top here, I had to move 2 wires around. Anybody who's done a conversion from a 4060 to a 4080 know what I'm talking about. Pin, I think it's 79 on the blue connector, moves to 22 on the red, and then it's another pin, I think 42 on the red, moves to 23. And then those 2 wires are in the actual connector back here. You pull those out and run it over for the input speed sensor. There's my output speed sensor, or the VBS, or VSS rather. The rear O2s, I did not delete the connectors just in case this car ever goes back to stock. I tried to leave it where a lot of the stuff will still be there, though I did tape them up really good. That way no dirt or anything gets in those connectors. So this is the trans pigtail. I went with something called F6 wire loom. Probably seen me do it on a couple other harnesses. But the reason I chose this wire loom is because it looks nice. It costs a little bit more than the regular wire loom, but essentially goes on the same way. So I left the high side pressure connector for AC, even though I'm not running AC at this time. Come down this side, you got all the injectors. I even took time to do each one of the injectors and coils. This is my cam sensor in the back, map sensor. I do have to get an extension pigtail because I'm running a LS3 intake, and the map sensor sits up front in this area. These are the wires here that goes to the clutch for the AC. I did cut them separately, put heat shrink on the end of them, and then I put them inside this loom here in case I ever decide to mount the AC compressor back down low. I need a turbo K member to do that. I also relocated the alternator wire pigtail to the passenger side, because on the passenger side head is where I have to mount my alternator due to the fact that this will be a turbo car. We got back here oil pressure and NOx sensors, and then coming down this row here, injectors, coil, coolant temp. This is the driver side O2 sensor, which is nice because it's up front. And then up here we have, now I did not remove the stock map sensor, mass airflow connector, even though I won't be using it. This intake air temp sensor connector is perfect because I'll plug this in. I'll have a boss added to the neck going into the throttle body. And we got throttle position and idle air control. That's it. This is how you turn a V6 harness into a LS1 harness to work with a V6 99 to 02 LS harness. It's couple pins you change around here, and if you're going 60 to 80, couple pins you change there. That's it.